Hey, it's Danielle McCulley here in Seattle, also known as DMAC, and today I want to talk about the Agimat and one of the hidden jewels that come with this system. Now, when I first got the system, I didn't really realize what I had either, but after it was brought to my attention, I knew that these lines, I knew they meant something, or they wouldn't be on here, right? So it was brought to my attention. I think Dennis calls them, market maker zones, but it was brought to my attention that they're actually quarter points. Now, I've been studying for the past couple of weeks advanced harmonics, Fibonacci's, and the quarters theory and kind of tying them all together. But a lot of people are not aware that they already have the quarters theory indicator included with the Agimat system, which is really cool. At least I think it's really cool because I understand the quarters theory now. And for those of you who do not know what the quarters theory is, or you don't understand it, you can simply Google the quarters theory and you'll find this free PDF file. I started reading the book. I'm not going to lie. I didn't finish it. I'm nowhere close to even finishing it, but I'm more of a visual learner, so I've been watching a lot of videos and some training that I've been studying called Forever Blue. Really good training. As you can see, it's really short too, only 4 different phases. I'm actually on phase 3, mastering the market, and I've learned a lot. I've kind of knew about harmonics before, you know, uh, diving into this course, but it has really opened my eyes and helped me understand harmonics and Fibonacci's on a whole nother level. So it's really good. I'm really satisfied with that. But anyway, getting back to these quarters theory. So this is AJ on the 4-hour chart, and the quarters theory, you can use them on any time frame. They're better, of course, like any other thing, on the higher time frames. And there's actually a indicator that will plot these out for you. Like I said, it's already included in the Agimat, but the Agimat is a little bit different than the indicator. Also, I think it has some extra little zones in here, so it's not exactly the same as the other quarters theory indicator. But I'll just show you what that one looks like real quick. And this is AJ. This was has been, one of my favorites for the past couple of weeks. I was able to short this pair quite a bit and secured the bag, left a couple of small positions open, and it did hit, well, you can see it's almost at TP right there. And I just forgot to close it out, but hopefully it doesn't gap up, right? But anyway, the quarters theory indicator. This is one that you can add to your MT4 trading platform. And basically this is how it's plotted out. I do plot these manually on TradingView, which I'll show you here in a little bit, but I like this indicator because it automatically plots them out for each pair. And as you know, each numbers are a little bit different for each pair. So if you use this indicator, you don't have to try to figure out what the major quarter points are, what the minor quarter points are, the half quarter points, and things like that. So basically, with this indicator, you see the red lines. Those are going to be the round numbers, which are like your major quarter points. And then the purple lines are going to be your minor quarter points. And then the gray dotted lines, that's going to be your half points. And also, let me try to just zoom in for a little bit. And then you can see these like blue hesitation. The blue ones are just like hesitation zones. So price will hesitate there. Try, instead of going up, it's going to push it back down. Things like that. I still haven't really figured out how those play out, the hesitation zones, but I've just been kind of watching price action and still learning that. But I do understand the quarter points. And basically, the quarters theory pretty much says that, you know, every significant price move in currency exchange rates takes place from one major quarter point to another. And this is going to be in increments of 250 pips. So this is a really good theory for, you know, swing traders, because, you know, if you can catch 250 pips or more, you know, that's a really good swing. So let's just get off of, let's bring it back down to the daily, well, 4 hour. So I just want to show you what basically what that means. So you can see here, I can zoom in a little bit there. So you can see here, price is breaking this little minor quarter point right here. Now, according to the theory, once it breaks a quarter point, it likes to go to the next one. And it, remember, it says 250. So it would be that would be 250 pips. But again, this is on the weekly. This is on the weekly. So you have to keep that in mind. But pretty much that's basically it. And so you can use these as take profits. So if it breaks this and if it continues to drop, you want to take it to this half point here. That's 127 pips. You want to hold it and continue. That would be your 250 pips. So go from this quarter point to this quarter point. And if you look back, on this is, again, this is still the daily chart, but if you look, let's look at past price action. So you can see it broke this quarter point. What did it do? It went down to the next one. So it reversed here back over this quarter point, and it went back to the next one. So it's something that's simple. I mean, that's how I kind of summed up the whole quarters theory thing. I just know, watch price. If it breaks a quarter point, you can expect it to maybe go to the next one. So it definitely helps you, you know, stay with the trade or give you an idea when you need to exit. And then also, let's see how it looks on the 4 hour. So you can't really see it just because it's so small, but you can definitely see how it plays out on the daily. When it breaks one, it goes to the next one. And then this one, you have a double top right here, so it's dropping. You also, just by looking at this, it looks like there may also be a harmonic. I can just show you guys. I'll go over this in the next video, but you can just do there's ways, because the MT4 doesn't have the harmonic 2 on there. I wish it did, but there's a way you can still draw harmonics on MT4 just like that. But I'll make a video for that next time. Right now, let's just go back over to the Agimat. And let's spread that out. Okay. So if you guys want to open up any chart on the Agimat, I don't care what pair it is, and you can even flip through the different time frames and just pay attention to price action, and you'll see how price plays off of these quarter points in these zones. Like I said, they do act as support and resistance. So even if you are, let's see, I'll use the 5 minute. Even if you are scalping on the 5 minute, you can use these as potential take profit. So let's say you entered here. You can go from this zone and you can take it to this zone, which is 25. Remember, quarter points. So if you take 1,000 and you divide it by 4, you're going to have, you know, 25. Go to the next one, it should be at 50, right? Boom, 50 pips. Then go to the next one, it'll be at 75, which is going to, you can't see it, but it's probably down here somewhere, close to down here. So for those of you that it's like, I don't know where to take my, you know, take profit, or where do I set my TP? You can definitely use these. It works. They are quarter points, so they are significant, and they do tell a story. Like this is the 15-minute. Again, if you wanted to take this, because you got all these confirmation signals right here. You got that one, you got the red dot, the white Agimat entry, and the ETR2. You can jump in that trade there, you know, take it down to the first little dot right there, 25 pips. If you're feeling risque, you can hold it, take it for another 25 pips. So that's 50 pips that you can catch on the 15 minutes. So hopefully you guys can see how significant, you know, these lines are, these quarter points. I use them. I use them a lot right now. I'll just jump over to Trading View real quick. Because when I mark up, this is why I say I don't really care that much about indicators, because this is always my first analysis, is doing marking up charts and doing technical analysis and all that good stuff. But I used to mark up my charts a little bit different before I learned the quarters theories. I used to start at, you know, the daily chart, and I would throw that on the line chart like that, and then I would go from, you know, plot the support and resistance from swing high to swing low. But now that I know the quarters theory, I mark up all my charts using that. I mark up all my charts using that, and I start with I don't know, sometimes I start with the monthly. Why is this so slow? Sometimes I start with the monthly, just depends on where price is at. And as you can see, the red ones, I kind of did it similar to the MT4 indicator. So the red ones are the round numbers, your major quarter points, and then the blue ones are your minor quarter points. I didn't do the half because I didn't want a lot of lines on the chart, but I know it looks like a lot of lines right now, but once you jump down to like the smaller time frames, let me try. I'm on my laptop, so this screen is so small. It's annoying. And it looks like a big mess, but it really isn't. But anyway, so when you jump down on the, start jumping down on the smaller time frames, you can kind of see, you know, there's a major quarter point there, and there's just a zone around it that gives you 25 pips above and 25 pips below, because, you know, nothing is 100% exact. That way it gives you a nice little support or resistance zone. As you can see, came up, tested that, and pushed it all the way down to this quarter point, broke that one, and it came down to the next quarter point, 85, turned around, formed a nice little harmonic. Well, it is forming, it hasn't been complete yet, but again, like let me get off this daily because it looks a mess. This is still AJ, and you can see, let me just scoot this down a little bit. And so this is, I use Oanda and I use FXCM. I use two different brokers on here to mark up my charts. One, I'll just kind of use the quarters theory, and then on this one, I'll actually do my own support and resistance zones according to price action. And this is why AJ was really nice for the past couple of weeks. And as you can see, it completed 2 harmonic patterns, you know, on the way up, and then this one completed on the way down. So a lot of pips right there. So it'll be interesting to see what price does. Since this completed this harmonic, price can push back up, or I don't know, will it extend down even further? So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on AJ. But anyway, I'm getting off the subject. Sorry about that. So back to the Agimat. Yeah, so pretty much that's it. For those of you that wonder how you can use the Agimat for potential take profit areas, that's all you have to do is use what's already here. Like, yeah, they're already plotted out for you. They're 25 pips from each one, which if you're scalping, that's really good. I mean, a lot of people like a minimum of 10 to 20 pips, when scalping. So if you can get something that easily, that's like, let me go down on the 5-minute. That's easy. Just going off of these zones. 25 pips, 25, another 25. So that's pretty much it. The quarter series basically says, once a major quarter point is broken, it usually just likes to go to the next one. It's something that's simple. So just keep that in mind when you're scalping or when you're trading using the Agimat and you do not know where you should take profit. Yeah, just pay attention and see if price has broken one of these quarter points. If it is, then a potential take profit would be, right there, or the next one. So you can do TP1 and TP2, or you can just do TP1 and be satisfied, right? And then another thing, this is, you'd have to use the Fibonacci tool. You can also use this tool to determine where to take profit at too. So let me show you. Most traders use the 31.8 level, the 38.2 level for TP1 and the 61.8 for TP2. So I'm just trying to, let's see. So if you want to see, let's see, if you wanted to see the bearish, you want to go from swing low to swing high. And so you would enter the trade, if you enter the trade right here, yeah, you would do swing low to swing high, and then you can use the Fibonacci levels as your take profit. So as you can see, the 31.8 right here was hit, boom. So you can, take profit there. Now it did do a pullback, but that's okay because you got in up here, so you're good. And TP2, you can do it at the 61.8, which was also hit. So there's a lot of ways to determine that, and then basically you can just use zone from zone, just like with scalping zone from zone. The same applies on higher time frames too. You just catch more pips, which is not a bad thing. All right, so that's it for today. I just wanted to go over that real quick because I know a lot of people don't realize that you have the quarters theory indicator already included in the Agimat, which I think is a really cool feature. But I understand if you don't know much about the quarters theory, you're probably like, I don't know. They probably just look like a bunch of little lines, because I've seen a lot of people, they remove these lines. And I'm like, where are your lines? Like, why'd you take those lines off? And, they don't like them. It makes the chart look a little bit too crowded, or for whatever reasons, which is understandable. But I'm like, oh man, you might want to put those back on there because you can catch some good pips off those lines if you know what they are. So in this video, I hope you find that helpful. Now that you know, those lines are quarter points and you can use them as potential take profit areas. Yeah, you can also use them for your stop loss too, because let's just say you got in right here. This is a major quarter point. You know that price it's not going to go back below this quarter point. I mean, it could, but just looking at this setup, it's not, because you already have a double top there. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You can draw your trend line, boom. And yeah, prices drop. So you can set your take profit anywhere up here. And that's another good thing about the quarter points. You can kind of use a tight stop loss if you want to, if you're worried about the market reversing and things like that. But as far as stop losses, I don't know. I don't really like them. I know you're not supposed to trade without using one, but your broker can see those things, and they don't call them, you know, stop hunts for nothing. They are hunting those left and right. So I don't know. That's just a personal preference, but you should always use a stop loss if you want to manage your trades. Sometimes I don't use them. I don't really like using them at all, but sometimes they are necessary. If you can't sit there and watch the trade, you definitely need to have one in place. But you can also use these as a, you know, you can do it like 10 or 20 pips from that. So you would be placing your stop loss somewhere like up here. And you can even have it closer if you want. It's just up to you. And a lot of times it actually depends on the volatility of the pair too. Because some pairs require a way big, a higher stop loss range than other pairs. So that's something to keep in mind also. All right, so that's all I have for today. In the next video, I will go over how you can spot harmonics on your MT4. For those of you that like harmonics and trade off of harmonics, I think it'll be very helpful. Because, yeah, I wish they had that tool that TradingView has on here, but they don't. But there is an easy way to spot harmonics. All right, so that's it. There you have it again. If you want to, if you're confused and don't know how, or not sure, I shouldn't say don't know how, but you're unsure of where you should take profit using this Agimat system, use these quarter points. They are very helpful. Pay attention to price around them. Those are the type of signals that I like to take when they're around these really dark ones. These solid black lines, those are good. You can see how many pips it pushed up from there. It's on the 4 hour though, so 400 pips. That's a big swing, but it's worth it, you know, if you have the patience. All right, so hopefully everybody have a great trading week, and I will see you in the next video.